Hello, everyone. Welcome to our another Shine Squad call. You guys, we have a special guest speaker, and I'm so excited. Caitlin is part of our awesome Shine Squad, and she is a big leader on our team, elite partner or mentor. I always get
I
the
think I'm up to senior mentor, but I'm
senior
almost at that
mentor.
elite mentor. Yeah.
So close. But yeah, she is amazing at getting sales. And I was chatting with her and I was like, she was talking to me about how she gets a lot of her sales from the DMs and just from chatting with people on Messenger and interacting through their stories and things. So I was like, ooh, train us because I want to learn this. Like I want to know your tricks. And so I'm just gonna have you take it away, Caitlin, and you can share a little bit about yourself and even like your Clio color journey.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. First, I just want to say thank you. Like, what an honor. You know that we've been connected for quite some time, but I always fangirl when you ask me to do trainings for you. So,
Well, we love hearing
my name
from
is
you.
Caitlin. Do what?
I said we love hearing from you. I love hearing from you. You're so fun.
Well, thank you. Thank you very much. I'm really excited today. So my name is Caitlin Garrett, and I was on Team Nailed It with Kelly at the previous company. And when I heard she was coming over here, I was like, girl, give me the deets because I want in on this action. And of course, like everybody else, I fell in love. And I kind of waited to say anything before, like until I tried the product. I don't like to promote something I don't 100% stand behind. And of course, the proof was in the pudding. So here I am. um, I will say that coming over here has been like probably the biggest what's the word, like blessing. I mean, yeah, truly just a blessing coming over here. Everybody has been so tight knit as a community, and it feels great to just be recognized by the company. And I don't know, I honestly have just been so impressed, so I'm thrilled to be here.
Same.
um so it's crazy, like literally so crazy. But one of the things that I was burnt out on at the previous company was my VIP group. And I know that sounds crazy, but I was like, oh my gosh, I feel like I post, multiple times a day. I'm consistent. I'm doing all the things. And my posts are barely getting any reach, like anything at all. And it was discouraging and disheartening. And so I was like, I can't keep doing this to myself, because when I don't see progress, when I don't see results, I feel like, and I feel like this probably like this for everybody, I get unmotivated. And I'm like, it's hard to keep pushing when you're not getting any action out of it. So I decided to pivot, and this was still with the previous company. I decided to kind of focus less on my warm market and my VIP group and start focusing more on my personal page, DMs, and stories. And let me tell you, what a difference that made, because I was pulling in new customers left and right. The sad truth is, after COVID, people kind of got burnt out on the Facebook groups and the Facebook parties and that sort of thing, right? So we we had to find a way to make things different and like change with the times, roll with the times. Um, when I heard posting and praying, I was like, in talk people talking about that, I was like, oh, that's what I do a lot. Like I just put it up and I'm like, I don't know why I'm not getting anywhere. Nothing's happening. Well, that's because the good old Facebook algorithm, it does not like you.
Yeah.
It does not like you. It's your worst enemy. It's always working against you. And you might think, oh my gosh, it's going great today. And then the next 3 days, you have zero action. And that's why it's not working. So I'm here to talk about getting on your personal page, getting in those DMs, and getting on your stories, to boost your algorithm on a regular. And let me tell you a little secret. I don't even have a VIP group anymore. I mean, it's still there, but I haven't posted in it in months. I think I did one post when I first switched over to Clio, and just told everybody that's what I was doing, and that was it. I literally have not posted in there.
And
Doesn't mean that that's going to work for you.
what's your
Go
average
ahead.
sales been so far, like each month?
Um, I mean, it. this month has been a lot slower. But to be honest, I haven't been as active in the DMs, and that's on me. But I mean, I usually at the very least break 1,000, 1,500 on average, and that's without. I haven't hosted a manifest for anybody yet. I haven't. I mean, I'm a very busy individual. I work full time on top of this, and have a 16-year-old who keeps me on my toes. And you know what it's like to be a teen mom. It's fun.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah.
So I
That's
haven't
amazing
like
though. Those numbers are amazing.
just getting in DMs. I mean, truthfully, it's building that connection. And I have people coming back over and over again to buy. Um, Attraction marketing. That's something that you talked about when we first switched over to Clio. And I was like, oh my gosh, yes, that's it. People are nosy, point blank. People are nosy and they want to know what you're doing and they want the details. So I was teasing, I was hyping it up, talking about like, the grief from leaving one, but the joy from joining another. And people were in my DMs or commenting and like, what's going on? I want to know the tea, spill. And so instead of just responding on that post, I got in their DMs. And so many more people, when you message people on Facebook, Facebook recognizes that as, oh, these guys like each other. So we're going to start showing them each other's posts.
Totally.
So like getting in DMs is so much more important than just building that connection. Like it's going to make you more visible to them. So I've got a few tips today. I have very bad ADHD, guys, so sometimes I run off into like a little squirrel run, and I apologize for that. But I've got some notes in front of me, and I'm just going to kind of run through them and give some details. If any questions pop up in the chat, Kelly, will you stop me
Yeah.
so that I can answer them? Awesome.
Yeah. And really quick before you start, I just
Yeah.
want to talk about the algorithm
Oh
because
yeah.
I was just talking to someone about this yesterday. And, you know, we think that everyone sees our stuff, like whether it's on your wall or in your VIP group, we think everyone sees our stuff, but that's not how the algorithm shows maybe 5 to 10% of your stuff to people. And so, like your people, your followers, your friends on, Instagram and Facebook are only seeing about 5 to 10% of your stuff. So if you think about it, if you post 10 nail fees, they're seeing
They're
one.
gonna see one.
Like
Yep.
if you post 10 times about the opportunity, they're seeing maybe one of them. And
Maybe.
here's an example. I was talking to a girl that I'm pretty good friends with, and I was like, "Yeah, I got a bunny." And she's like, "You got a bunny?" And I'm like, "It's like one of those things where you like, did you not see my posts and videos about my bunny?" Like, we think everyone's seeing our stuff, and even like good friends and stuff are seeing our stuff, and they're not. So I just had to
Yep.
like start with that
I agree.
because Caitlin's gonna now teach you how to like kind of hack the algorithm.
Yes, exactly. A little bit of hacking. And I've got a similar situation, and it was about my VIP group in particular, because your personal algorithm is, excuse me, is already like you're fighting against it. You get into a private group, and that's even more so because your pool is so much smaller, like the pool of people that can see it. My sister was, when I was with the previous company, was like my biggest customer, my biggest hype girl. She was always on my posts. She was always like cheering me on, supporting me, buying things, etc. And when subscription boxes launched for them, I was all over it. I was hyping it, but I didn't reach out to her through message because back then, like I said, I was more of a post and pray kind of person. And I went on a little girls trip with her, and I was talking about it. I don't even remember what brought it up. Me and another friend were talking about it. And my sister was like, wait, hold on. And mind you, this was like 3 or 4 months after they launched. And I had been talking about them regularly for months. And she was like, what are you talking about? Subscription boxes. And I was like, what? Like you are always on my posts. And she hadn't seen a single one of those, not a single one of my
Crazy.
subscription box posts. Yeah. And I was blown away by that. Needless to say, she immediately hopped on it and like signed up for one. But that's just how important it is to realize that the algorithm is always working against you, and you've got to find sneaky little ways to get past it. So, if nobody has any questions yet, I'm going to go ahead and get started. Let me just we've sort of already gone over this, but I'm going to talk about why posting and praying isn't enough. So, first, social media algorithms, like we just said, they limit reach. Most people won't see your posts unless they are engaging with you actively, or more importantly, you are engaging with them actively. Okay. People buy from people that they trust, not just what's on their feed. So if you are not the face of your business and your brand, people are less likely to support you and buy from you.
What do you mean by that?
Relationship. Oh, sorry.
What
The
do you
the
mean
face of
by
your
the
brand.
face of your business and your like, can you give
Yeah,
examples or elaborate a little?
absolutely. My bad. Yes. So when I say the face of your brand, are you just throwing up a nail fee in on your personal page and like you're never in the picture? If you are never in the picture, if you are never posting videos of yourself, pictures of yourself going live, people aren't connecting you to that product. Does that make sense, Kelly?
Yeah, yeah.
Like you need to be the face of your business. And I know that that can be scary because we don't like to be vulnerable. We don't like to put ourselves out there for judgment. And I respect that 100%. But it's as simple as like if you're really shy about it, guys, throw on your little sunnies, a little ball cap. I'm like incognito right now, but it's still me, right? And then just a little picture with your nails instead of just doing the nail feed, do it with you. And you're going
Yeah.
to easily become the face of your brand.
I like to say it's like you wouldn't watch a reality show if it was just the cameraman showing like the scenario, this scene, right?
Scener. Yeah, right.
Like you
Absolutely.
gotta, you're the main character. You gotta be in the front. You gotta be on camera.
On camera. Absolutely. And that can, like I said, I know that's scary. That can get a little intimidating, but that's why I want you to take baby steps. Okay. We're working towards just a little bit at a time. And then you're going to build that momentum. Cause I was scared too in the beginning. I rarely posted selfies. I rarely did videos, stories, lives, that sort of thing outside of my VIP group. Cause my VIP group was my comfort zone. And I knew that these people knew what they were here for, and that was business. And so like I still put I was just a post and pray, but my face was like on all of my stuff. Every graphic I made usually had like a me in the corner, or something because I wanted to be related to that product when they were shopping.
Yeah, and can I just add, they
Absolutely.
like sometimes when you're scrolling, you don't always look at like the person's name that posted it. Do you know what I mean?
Absolutely. Sometimes
So
you just see the
if
image.
yeah, you just kind of like scrolling and you just see an image and you're not like looking at their username, right? And so when your picture's in it, then they recognize like, oh, it's Caitlin's post, it's Kelly's post, it's Quinn's post, it's Danny's post, you know?
Absolutely. Yes, that's a great point. And that truly is the case. If you think about yourself, guys, think about what's going to relate, like stick out to you, what's going to make you stop your scroll, what's going to make you relate something to a person rather than just seeing it as a mindless scroll. Um, Denise had a great question. So I should be posting on my personal page, then DM anyone who messages or even likes, loves the comp. Absolutely. That is a great way to get in DMs and it not feel salesy or spammy. And we'll talk about that a little bit more as we get down the line. But like when Julie Cruz actually was the one who kind of pushed me to start doing this part of it. But if somebody likes a post or comments on a post you put up, even if it's not business related, this is important and almost more so if it's not business related. You should at least message them and be like, hey, thank you so much for liking and commenting on my posts. You have no idea how much it means to me to have your support. I'm really trying to make a go of this content creation, and I get a little nervous. So thank you. Or it could be, oh my gosh, you commented on my post, and I just remembered that like we were talking about X, Y, and Z 2 months ago, and I never got an update. How's that going? Be real, be personable. You should not be like jumping in their DMs and going, hey, I saw you commented on my post, buy my stuff. But that's so important not to be that girl. Please don't be that girl. Okay, so let's keep going a little bit more. Relationships are greater than reach. And what I mean by that is that connection builds conversion. So when you are getting in those DMs, when you are building a relationship with somebody and not just trying to sell them things, that is so much greater than just trying to post and pray. Just hoping for the algorithm to do the work for you. Again, something Julie said to me that stuck out one time was, if you want this to pay you like a business, then you need to work it like a business. And so if you had a storefront and someone came into your store to buy something, would you stand in the back room and shout through the door, "Hey, thanks for coming. There's a good sale going on. Go over here and buy this." And like they never see your face, you're not really building a connection, or you don't speak to them at all. Like if they walked up to your store and they came in and you're just like behind the counter, do you think they're going to stay and shop? I wouldn't. I mean, I don't. I'd be like, well, this girl's weird, so I'm going to leave.
Yeah,
And I'd get out of there, right? So you need to treat it your business like you are in front of your customers on a daily basis, because you are. So build that connection. If someone comes into your storefront, or if you went into someone else's, let's flip the script here. If you went into someone else's storefront and they said, um, "Hey, oh my gosh, I haven't seen you in forever. How are your kiddos? Are they doing wrestling again this season?" Or, "Oh my gosh, girl, I remember when you came in last time, you snagged that cute summer outfit. Look at this new stuff I got. I saw it and I immediately thought of you. You have to check this out." Are you going to buy from somebody like that? Much more likely, right? Than if somebody was just like, "Hey," and then just sat there. Or even if you were like, "Oh my gosh, how are you?" And they're like, "Good, nice to meet you." Like they have no idea who you are, even though you've been in there 5 times shopping from them. I'm not going to buy from that person. I'll be like, "Wow, that was rude. I've totally had full conversations with you." It's important to provide customer service and build those connections. Do we have any questions so far? It
so
doesn't look
true.
like.
No, we're good.
Okay. So now we're going to move into like getting personal. You are your brand. So I kind of touched on that briefly. But let me explain how you can become your brand. So your page should not be, and Kelly, you've always taught me this one, it should not be a constant infomercial about the products that you sell. It should be a reality show with commercials sprinkled in. And I know if you're on Kelly's team, you've heard that from her. And that could not be more true. If you go to Kelly's page, my page, we're sharing about personal stories, routines, even sometimes like behind the scenes moments. Um, I do every single morning in my stories. I hop in, and I actually, it's varying times throughout the day, but I hop in my stories and do what I call a food for thought morning motivational message. And so I will literally like just pop in the screen, say something motivational, and then pop right back out. And that's it. Well, people have started to relate that to me. And so if by noon my message isn't up, I'm actually getting DMs from people like, "Hey, I've been looking for your morning motivational all day. Where is it at?" Or another one
Love
Kelly
that.
knows me by is my Red Bull. I always have an energy drink, typically Red Bull, but sometimes Lonnie, and I will usually share like that every single day. And so people want to know what I'm drinking, or they'll tag me in Red Bull related things like posts and stuff. And it's just cool to see that they're relating me to other things besides just Kleo, right? Because it makes me recognizable and it makes them think about me all the time. So I don't know if anybody else's brain works like this, but mine, if I'm like, "Oh, there's a can of Red Bull. Caitlin loves Red Bull. Oh wait, Caitlin also sells those Clio nails. Oh wait, I'm gonna have a big event coming up. I need to order some nails. I'm gonna go to Caitlin." So it's like subliminal messaging, I
Yeah,
guess. Is that
it
what you would
totally
call
is.
it? Yeah. And so you need to make yourself your brand, make yourself relatable, but it doesn't just have to be your business. You should be sharing a lot of personal and a little bit of business. Um, you can use this or that, like polls, but again, this is not about business. We're talking about personal, this or that. So you could be like, Are you a coffee girl or look, my amount of caffeine is ridiculous. Are you a coffee girl or are you a Red Bull girl?
Caffeine with the side of caffeine.
Yes, exactly. Every day. So if you can't tell by my motor mouth that runs 1,000 miles an hour, but you could literally like hold up a picture of yourself or take a picture of yourself holding up your two drinks and be like, this or that. Are you like a coffee girl or an energy drink girl? Boom. You've just made yourself like recognizable. You've put a personal post up, but it's a poll. So people love to give their opinions. It's going to get a lot of traction and a lot of action, right? You
Even
can,
if you don't do a picture of you,
yeah.
I mean, I like obviously you want to show your face on your
I
social
encourage
media,
it, right,
but
but it
even if
doesn't
you
have
don't,
to be
like
that.
just writing that question with like the colored background can be huge for your algorithm.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So that's about like boosting, providing quality content that like draws in engagement. I still think to date, the the most action I've ever had on a post, and I'll have to go back and actually look, there's two of them. One was do noodles belong in chili? I literally asked that, and that post blew up. And there was so much arguing and controversy, like healthy, friendly arguing, but like so much controversy in the comments. And I was just dying over that. And then another one I did that was something similar, but kind of also plugged the product that I was selling. And I got that tip from you also, Kelly. Um, I took a picture of, I put ketchup on my scrambled eggs. It's literally the only thing I really eat ketchup on. I hate it otherwise. But I took a picture of my plate and was holding my fork and you could see my nails in the picture. And I was like, do you like ketchup on your scrambled eggs or on your eggs, period? Like, do you like ketchup on your eggs? Yes or no? And then I put PS, check out my DIY mani or check out my mani I did at home myself. And like, that's it. And that's all I said. I didn't say buy it from me or anything like that. That post had a ton of traction. People were like, ew, that's so gross. How can you eat that? Or, oh my God, yes, I love ketchup on eggs. It was people like controversy. They like opinions, being nosy, and they like controversy,
And they like
biscuits
to
and
share their
gravy.
opinion too. Yeah.
Yes, they really do. They like to just run their mouth and tell their opinion on things, and that's okay. That's okay. That's going to get action on your page. Have you guys ever heard of rage bait? Not that you should use this at all, but have you heard of rage bait where like
No.
somebody will do something intentionally on a video that would put people in an uproar just to get traction,
Just to get the
just to blow it
comments.
up? Just to get the comments. And even though every comment is like, oh my gosh, I can't believe you would do this, even though it's almost all a negative response, people like to share their opinion. So not at all encouraging you to use rage bait because I think that it creates a negative light around your image. But that is why people do things like that. It's just to get the action.
Yeah, there's people that will misspell things or
Intentionally just so somebody will correct them in the comments. And I'm so guilty of being like the your. If anybody uses the wrong your, I'm in the comments like the correct one star. So I get it. I'm so bad about it. Okay, let's move on a little bit. Um Instead of just showcasing your nails, and again, we're trying to keep us like our face of our brand. Instead of just showcasing your nails, maybe you show your lifestyle with your nails. I travel a ton. Okay, so be relatable and real. Might post a picture. Sorry, it's blurring with this book that says the travel hack. There we go. And I might post a picture with this book and have my nails in the image. So, like getting ready for to plan my next big vacation. Have you used this book yet to plan any travel? And then like my nails, it's subliminal messaging. Somebody's gonna comment and be like, "Oh my gosh, your nails are so cute," and I didn't even mention them. They plugged it for me. So that's making that content relatable and real, but not being salesy. So it's like business. It's like real life with a sprinkle of business. That's what I was trying
yeah,
to say.
more like subliminal messages.
Yeah. Yes, I love those. Okay. She said, I have a friend that purposely uses the wrong tense in a sentence to get a rise out of people. Absolutely. People do it. I mean, it's become like the thing on the internet to try to do things wrong or that are like, ooh, kind of ick or cringe just to get comments and likes or follows or whatever, and make money. And I mean, as much as I don't encourage you to do it, I'm like, more power to them. That's cool. Okay, so a couple examples of like showing your lifestyle. I showed that, but you could also do like um something like just did my mani in the passenger seat, hashtag passenger princess on point or something like that, or passenger princess hack. Buy these LED gels or these press-ons and you can be a passenger princess too or something like that. I mean, literally it's as simple as that. Um you could do which one screams spring break more? Like I'm going on a trip, which one screams spring break more? Floral or glitter? Pastels or bright colors? Like you're kind of plugging your business without being salesy.
I have
Okay.
a question for
Um
you, Caitlin.
yeah.
And I would love to hear from everyone just like what your thoughts are. So I posted a nail fee this week and I just said, would you wear this? It wasn't even my own nail fee, but it was really beautiful.
Mhm.
And I just said, would you wear this? And people are like, yes, oh my gosh, yes, I love it, blah, 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 blah. And I was like, it would be cool, like, or I've considered message reaching out to them and saying, hey, like, I saw your comment, and here's the link if you do, like, if you did want to get this set. But is that too, like, does that feel too, like,
Pushy.
not, like, yeah, without building the relationship?
If you have zero connection to the person, I mean, I guess maybe, but realistically, if they commented, they're interested. And you asked directly, would you wear this? So I would maybe just be cautious about your wording. Use a voice message. I encourage voice messages a lot over text, because they
That's a
seem more
great idea.
personable and real.
Hmm.
So I might respond to that comment and be like, "Hey sis, I saw that you liked or commented on that nail fee I shared, and I am no gatekeeper, so I just thought I'd drop the link here in case you're interested in purchasing it. Let me know if you have any questions, or you could even say, let me know if you decide to place an order because I have a product credit code that I can share with you to give you a little bit of a discount."
Yeah, I thought about
So
that for sure with the product credit. Like, hey,
yeah.
like, if you wanted to give you a little kickstart if you needed something
Yeah,
like
for
that.
sure. And not everybody has product credit on deck. So, like, I understand that. So, it's not a must. I would just be careful about how you word it. And again, sticking to voice messages seems so much more real instead of being like, hey, saw you commented on that nail fee. Here's the link. You know what I mean? Like, you don't want to just drop that. That seems spammy and that seems impersonal. Is that, I don't know. I sold 3 sets for my personal stash last night because my friend who lives next door. She said Kelly was pretty. That's cute. How do you provide a product code? Yeah, you do have to have product credit from like hosting your own Manifest link or meeting jump starts, or if your downlines meet or bold starts, sorry, bold starts, or if your downlines meet bold starts, that's how you get product credit. But you can like literally give codes down to the dollar, which I think is one of the best tools and resources that I've ever seen at any company.
So awesome.
So great. Okay, so I feel like I was missing something. Where was I at? Okay, we're gonna move on to engage first, sell later. This is how I've been able to stay out of a VIP group and still continue to make sales without hosting parties and without doing like literally, I don't want to say minimal work because that's not true. I put in a lot of work and I send a lot of messages and I connect and I have a really good memory. So I remember little tiny details about people. And if you don't have a good memory, that's okay. You can make notes. literally put it in your phone. Kelly has new bunny, likes trucker hats. And that way, when I go to message her the next time just to reach out, I can, or check in or try to get, maybe I'm not getting a lot of traction on my posts. So I'm messaging people just to message people. I might go to Kelly's page and scroll a little bit and be like, oh my gosh, Kelly got a new trucker hat. I know she like really likes trucker hats. So I'm going to message her about that. So I might just send her a message, be like, girl, I saw your new hat. What was that one you posted the other day? That was so funny. Why was it so funny to me? You gotta, I don't remember which one it is. What are you wearing right now? What's it say?
It was the Delulu lemon trucker
The,
hat.
the Delulu lemon. I died for that one. And so, like, that would have been a great opportunity for me to message her and be like, oh my gosh, that hat was hilarious. I cannot believe that you found it. Where'd you get it at? And then down the conversation, you might be like, I just came across, like, holy crap, I just came across this nail fee and it matches your hat perfectly. Look at this and send it. And then she might be like, oh my God, I totally need that set of nails. And I'll be like, I got you, girl. Let me throw it in a cart and I'll show the cart to you. But I'm also going to put the remover in the cart because she needs a remover. Or if it's an LED gel, I'm also going to put a light in there. But then I'm going to say, hey, just so you know, if you add two more LED gels to that cart, you're going to get that lamp for free. So that's where the upsell comes in. But I notice how the conversation did not start with anything about product. It was
Yeah.
just about connecting with them on something that they love, they enjoy.
Do you personally take notes, or do you just kind of, because you can also scroll up and see like what you've talked about in the past, you know?
Yeah, you can scroll up. I have a really weird memory. I can remember a conversation that we had 6 months ago. I could probably even tell you what nails you ordered from me the most. Like, I don't know. It's so strange, but I'm very fortunate to have that. I would recommend for those that don't. I would take a little bit of notes, especially if they comment on a, like, because you can scroll up in your conversation, but maybe you've not engaged with them before. Maybe this is a new conversation you're trying to strike up and they liked a couple of things or commented on a couple of things on your page. Or like I have people now that literally will message me and be like, oh my gosh, did you see the new Red Bull flavor? Because at one point in time, I messaged them on their page and was like, oh my God, I just saw you got the new Red Bull. Where'd you find it at?
Mm,
Do you know what
yep.
I mean? And so I keep it in my mind like that they like Red Bull. So when I find the new flavor, I'm messaging them. When they find it, now they're messaging me. So I built a connection over something so minuscule, but it works and it's built a relationship. I have a customer, Corey. Her and I went to high school together. Typical scenario, you know, we had kids, we got older, we fell out of touch, we're living in different towns, different groups of friends, that sort of thing. And we started reconnecting over Red Bull because she loves like trying all the new flavors. And so when Kleo came out and I started doing that, she was like, oh, she jumped right in my DMs and was like, oh my gosh, tell me more. She has become my best customer. And that connection, yeah, we had it in like a history, but we'd kind of fallen off. If I'd have jumped in her DMs and been like, hey, I started a new business. Do you want to try them? She'd have been like, yeah, hi. I haven't heard from you since high school. And you're asking me to buy things from you, but she wants to support me because we've rekindled our friendship over something silly.
Yeah. I mean, that's like, it's like that, Colleen Richards, how they have that whole boot camp in the virtual office. I don't know if you've watched any of those, but they're
I've heard
so
of it. I
good. And
haven't
she's
watched them
like,
yet.
don't make it weird. Like sometimes we like separate social media from like real lives. And it's like there's so many things that we would not do in real life, but that
That
we
is
do
such a
on
good
social
point.
media. And it's like, I think you have to check yourself and be like, would I do this in real life? Okay,
That is
no.
such a good point. Because would you just walk up to somebody random at your high school reunion that you haven't seen in forever and be like, hey, would you buy these from me? Like, you wouldn't do that. That's so weird. I'd be
Yeah,
like, no, thanks.
right.
And also flip the script and like, how would I feel if someone did exactly what I'm about to do now to them? Like if this
Yeah.
person messaged me this way, how would it make me feel?
Yeah. That's a
Stop
great
before
tip.
and think about it before you post.
Mhm. Mhm.
Okay, so as far as the engaging first and selling later, this is where I think people forget that you can warm up your your algorithm or break through your algorithm by doing this. If you are not engaging on other people's content, so if you literally are just posting and you're in the DMs, excuse me, that's super great. But if you don't comment on other people's posts, respond to other people's stories, like their stuff, they're going to stop seeing your content. The algorithm's going to be like, "Oh, she doesn't do anything. She's not engaging. She's not adding value to this platform. So I'm not going to, continue to boost her stuff out there." So whenever I notice a post isn't getting a lot of traction, I it's like a mind check for me. Girl, you have not commented on, I know that you're busy, but you have not commented on anybody's stuff in forever. Go do it. And so I will intentionally scroll my feed or go to people's pages directly because the feed these days is like mostly ads, I feel like. But that's also partially my fault. Like if that starts happening, I know I've reached out less to people and I need to do better. So let it be kind of like your own personal checks and balances when you see those things happening. So I will go warm up my audience, is what I call it, and I will go genuinely engage with their content with no ulterior motive. This isn't about going and engaging and then hoping that they message me about my nails. I'm literally just going and adding value to my relationships. So I'll leave thoughtful comments. I like funny one-liners. Like it's totally my gig. So I will drop like little funny one-liners on funny posts. Um, you don't want to just drop an emoji. That's not really adding value. I might do emojis because I am totally like that girl, but I will add verbiage as well. So like I'm actually commenting, and that is going to, just like messaging people, it's going to boost you up in their algorithm. But most importantly, it's them going, "Oh wow, that person really paid attention to what I have going on." So like when people post selfies or change their profile picture, I am the hype girl. I am always in there like, "Okay, sis," and adding value. I
Love
really am.
that.
And it's genuine. It's
Hmm.
genuine. But then next thing I know, they're on mine. And they're like, "Oh my God, you look so beautiful in this," or "Oh my God, I love that nail fee," or "Red Bull is my kryptonite too," or whatever. But they are connecting with me. um I'm going to call this relationship marketing, okay, because that's what we're doing, right? We're trying to get in the market of building relationships, not selling nails.
Yeah.
So this is going to start with curiosity and kindness, not a sales pitch. All right. So maybe you're reaching out to compliment them on something. Maybe you're reaching out because you remember seeing a post where a girl was struggling with something. Maybe they were struggling with their mental health and you reach out just to check in on them. You can't, you've got to let go of the sales in your mind when you're building these connections because otherwise it's not genuine. You need to actually genuinely care and build that connection. And then they will naturally connect to you and start. I'm not all of them, of course not. It's not like this is some magic potion where I'm going to be like, "Drink this and you'll want to buy from me." No, it's not like that. But at the very least, it's going to make them want to support you because you are supporting them.
Yeah. That makes sense.
Yeah. Okay. DMs. These are scary for people, right? Because sometimes, like, especially if you're an introvert and you're like not a people person, you might be like, "I don't want to talk to anybody." I didn't get in this business to talk to people. Well, then you might be in the wrong business. So you should start conversations with people based on their interests or something they've shared. I kind of already talked about that, scrolling their feed, taking notes and remembering things that like you've seen or that stuck out to you or that you've talked about previously. use voice memos for warmth and tone. How many times have you been in a text conversation with somebody or somebody texted you and you're like, wow, that was rude. But really, it wasn't like that wasn't their intent at all. But you can't read tone, inflection, body language, that sort of thing through text,
Yeah.
right?
Hmm.
So it's going to come across way less salesy if you use a voice memo, always.
So
Otherwise, it
true.
just seems like a copy and paste message, and it's like, ick. Don't want
So
to. I don't
true.
want that. Ask questions and listen more than you talk. Listen, I struggle with this because I am a chatty Cathy and I talk a million miles an hour and I know it and I own it. And so I have to be very, very conscientious when I'm having a conversation with people, especially voice memos, because I'll look down and I'm like, oh, that's like a minute and a half. I've just been running my mouth. And sometimes I will literally delete it and start over. I'm like, okay, take a deep breath, respond, but I do not need to tell my whole life story on every line and in every memo. So make sure that you're actually hearing them and genuinely responding and like listening to what they're saying. Um so content as conversation starter. I guess I've probably covered a lot of this. When someone interacts, okay. Use your content as conversation starters. So like I said, when somebody interacts on your post, use that as an invitation, but be genuine about it. Maybe you start a side conversation about whatever the post was about, or maybe you um message them about the product, Kelly, just like you said. Just if your post is about the product and they're interacting on it, to me, that's saying, like, hey, I'm interested in this. And so if
Hmm.
they're not already in my DMs, here's my opportunity to jump in theirs and keep it genuine. Stories, I think it's like a lost art. I feel like people have just stopped using them. Because they're scared to, or have not used, I shouldn't say stopped using them, have been afraid to use them because it's like intimidating. But really, it's a huge tool and resource. I dare say I probably post in my stories more than I do on my page. And Kelly, I think you do too. I
Yeah.
mean, you still post on your page, but I might only put two or three posts up a day. I might put 10, 15 stories up a day.
Yeah.
And even if you think you have nothing to offer and that you're boring, you're not. You
Yeah.
have stuff to offer. People are nosy.
Yeah.
Sometimes, go ahead.
Oh,
Mhm.
I didn't mean to replace the pin. Hold on. What I was gonna say is, Colleen Nichols says, your like social media, your Facebook wall and your Instagram like grid, those are like the curb appeal of your house. It's like the outside of your house. And then she said stories is like your living room where it's like, all right, sit on the couch. Let's like have some real
That's a
talk.
great analogy. I love that because it's
Yeah.
true. You can be a little more real in your reels and stories. Um, just yesterday, so like I started out because I was intimidated by stories too. But I started out just like a picture or a quote graphic. And then I built from there because I was always like, nobody wants to see me drinking my morning coffee. Believe it or not, when I make my morning protein coffee, and I record just like a section of it and then post that, that gets so much traction. People are messaging me, what cold brew do you use? What protein shake do you recommend? Like I don't even know how to explain it. It's just real. It's like hanging out with your best friend in their living room.
Yeah.
You said it really is. So
I love that
uh
advice, Caitlin, of just like working your way up to it because
absolutely.
even just a picture of your dog, like,
Mm-hmm.
or and like a quote post gives them a
Book and reading for the day.
little insider behind the scenes of you. And I've said this, to many of you, but I'll say it again because it's just such a good reminder is that what is boring and normal to you is not boring to other people. Like,
Yeah.
for example, I live, in Southern California where there's not really weather. It's like the weather stays the same all the time. So like posting palm trees or, like my bunny, how I keep forgetting to post more about my bunny, but people are like, "You have a bunny? Tell me more,"
Yes,
like, but we're like, "Well, it's just my bunny." Like we're just like, it's
right.
just
It's your
I
life.
just do this thing, like
Yeah,
I can't remember who it was. I think it was Darlene. She was telling me she makes lunch, cooks her own, like cooks a lunch every day. And I was like, girl, that's very unique. Like you need to
that
share
is
this.
very
Like
unique.
not everybody cooks that makes their own fancy lunch. So,
Nope. My lunch is typically leftovers
right?
fast
Like the
food.
things we consider boring and everyday are like unique to someone else.
Hmm.
Your weather is different than someone else's weather.
That's a, yeah,
Your
great way to put it.
everyday routine is different than someone else's. And like there's people that that only post picture posts, but I'm still like, what are you eating? What are you doing? I want to know. Like I'm just like
Hmm.
you said, I'm nosy.
I'm nosy. Yes. And think about it, like think about reality TV. Why is
Totally.
reality TV such a hit? Because people want a window, a picture window into somebody else's life.
Yeah. Even YouTube, there's like my son was watching like these kids just skateboarding at a park the whole time. And I was like, this could be boring to some people, but it's
Yes.
not to him, just like watching these kids skateboard back and forth, but you know?
But to him, he enjoyed it. Right.
Yeah.
That's something I talk about with my husband, and why I stress to so many of my downlines, like it's important to be posting in different platforms and in different ways. So stories, I link my Insta and my Facebook. So anything I post on my Facebook page immediately posts on my Insta grid, and anything I put in my stories immediately goes to my Insta stories. And then I also post on TikTok, like my daily motivational. I immediately, as soon as I post it in my stories, I go over and drop it in TikTok for the day.
Like
And
on a
do I have
TikTok story.
no, I actually just make it a post, but I didn't think about that. I probably should make it a TikTok story. But
Mm,
honestly, like they don't, I have like 1,100 followers. I barely get any traction. But something my husband and I were talking about, a lot of people don't use Facebook. A lot of people don't use Insta. So if you post in one place in one way, you're getting way less eyes on your product and your stuff, and you're losing real estate. Okay. My
yeah.
husband literally on TikTok, all he does is watch TikTok lives. And I'm like, that is so like for me, I'm like, why would you do that? I don't like that. That's so weird.
Yeah.
I'm scrolling videos. And he's like, yeah, I could care less about the videos. I'm watching lives. And so it's cool to see everybody is like interested in something different. So if
Hmm.
you are plugging yourself into all these different platforms and then the different ways that you can share in each platform, you are maximizing that real estate.
Yeah.
Like somebody is going to see you and your brand and then your product if you are posting in 9 places.
Yeah. I totally agree. Because I feel like everybody, and I've said this to you guys before, everyone has like their favorite platform and
Yes.
their favorite way of communicating. Some people like love emails. Some people are
Hmm.
only on
Love
Instagram.
tech.
Some people are
Phone
only
call.
they're only watching YouTube shorts. And so if you can connect if you can like
All
double
together.
dip, doesn't mean you have to make new content for all these things, but just like connect your Instagram to your Facebook. Like go save your post and upload it to TikTok and YouTube Shorts and then send weekly emails like so that you're everywhere and you're hitting people on their favorite platform, not yours.
Absolutely. I mean, think about your favorite content creators, and influencers. They say, follow me on my IG, my YouTube, the reason they have all those platforms is because they know not everybody uses TikTok. Not everybody uses YouTube anymore. Like you have to expand that real estate, like your pool of people that are seeing it. And honestly, I know TikTok is so intimidating. Trust me, I've been there, same with TikTok lives. But something cool to think about when you go live on TikTok and when you post to TikTok, it's showing, I mean, and there's still an algorithm and there's still a process, but you have an unlimited pool. Millions of people have the opportunity to see your stuff. Whereas on Facebook or Insta, if they're not following you, they're probably not going to see it. Or if they're not your friend, right? Am I wrong on that, Kelly? Because like I
I
know that
actually
they
don't
might
know.
if you
I don't know a ton about TikTok. I mean, I'm on there, but I'm like,
well like okay, for
it's not
example, if
my
I go
favorite platform.
right, right. And it's so green to me. Like I use it a lot for video editing and then I like post it elsewhere, but that's really it. Um but I remember like I went live on TikTok one time back when I was with my previous company. Didn't even show my face, just like bought this overhead camera thing so I could do my nails. And I had tons of people that I like in there that I shouldn't say tons. It wasn't like I had thousands of viewers, but I had like several viewers in there that they weren't following me. I wasn't following them. Like I gained followers from that. Whereas if I go live on my Facebook, I do have a public profile, but it's very rare that Facebook is going to push my stuff out and me be one of those ads
Right.
that ads like people you may follow or want to follow. So my pool is larger. Like I can reach out to more people by going live on TikTok than I can going live
Yeah.
on
Yeah.
Facebook.
That makes
That's
sense.
yeah, that's what I was trying to
Yeah, that checks out.
put into it. It checks out. The
Caitlin,
facts are
Danny had a
facting.
question. She said,
Yeah.
should Facebook and Instagram be private or public if you're barely starting out?
That's entirely up to you and your personal preference. Mine is public. But it took me a while to get to that point. My daughter is 16, almost 17 now, and has her own Facebook that's very limited. I'm not a fan of it, but her and yeah, anyway, we've had a talk about it. She's very limited. But my point is like not everybody's comfortable sharing their kids. You can actually put your profiles public and make specific posts friends only
Yeah,
or
I was
private.
gonna recommend that because
Yeah.
if you don't want your
So
kids showing or whatever, or if you're like me, you just don't show your kids anymore.
there's that. Like
It's just everyone's like
occasionally,
everyone probably thinks I'm like this single mom because my husband doesn't want to be like it's like
no, and
I
that's
have
okay. My
kids,
husband,
they don't even want to be in it. My teenagers are like, that's a no.
sorry, mom, I'm not going to do that. Yeah. I will post an occasional story with my daughter in it, but very rarely. And I'll put up the occasional post, but I almost always change if her face is in it, I change that post's privacy to friends only.
Yeah, so you
But other
can
than that, my profiles are public.
that's what I recommend doing because I think you want it to be public so that if people are searching Clio color or whatever, and maybe one of your posts pops up, they can like actually see it, you know?
Yeah. Yes, and you will show up in the posts like in that search. If you are a private profile and they're searching, they're not going to be able to like you're not even going to pop up in their search. Okay, I know we've been on here for quite a while, so I'm going to try to wrap this up for you guys. I'm just going to kind of run through my last couple of bullet points sort of fast. I'll try not to run off at the mouth and talk too much about them. But nurture before, sorry, I was getting a call. Nurture before the ask. So this is that nurturing that relationship and building that relationship before you ask them to be a customer. So check in without an agenda, celebrate their wins, remember their birthdays. But here's a little hack, guys. Facebook's going to remember it for you. If you go to Facebook every single day, and I do this every single day, and I will search, if you go to the little magnifying glass, you can hit search and you can type in the word birthdays. And then it'll pop up this little like option where it's got like a green box, and I tap it and it will tell me everybody's birthday that is my friend or I think followers too. I could be wrong on that, but friends for sure. It'll tell me everybody, like whoever's birthday is that day. It'll tell me if I missed anybody yesterday, which I try to do this every day. Um, and then it'll tell me who's coming tomorrow so I can do a little research and get into their profile. But I will message them, not post on their wall, guys. That's what everybody else does. That's great and it's nice, but it's not building that connection. So I will directly message them and say, "Hey friend, happiest of birthdays to you. I hope you have the best day. Do you have any plans later? Or do you have any big birthday plans?" And that is immediately engaging them in conversation, but it's genuine. I'm literally just messaging them about their birthday. And I'm ending on a question so that I can talk about like what they're doing and continue to build that relationship. But this is not about me selling nails to them. It's not like I'm going to be like, let me offer you a product credit code for your birthday. No, I'm literally just being like, oh my gosh, that sounds so fun. I hope you have a great time. If you guys get out and about later, if they're in my area, give me a shout. Maybe we can meet up for coffee on me or something like that. If you've talked
I
before,
like that
follow up in a,
because,
go
sorry, I'm
ahead.
gonna
Sorry.
interrupt, but I like that because it also boosts the algorithm, so now they're seeing your stuff. So if you're doing that to every single one of your friends, if you're doing that all year, then like at least once a year, you're kind of like boosting the algorithm so
Boosting
they're
into their
seeing your
stuff.
stuff.
Right. And then if you get on their feed and they start engaging with you, then now they're engaging with you. Facebook's going to continue to show you their or show them your stuff.
Right, yeah.
So absolutely. I don't want to say ulterior motive because to me that sounds icky, but there's always a more than one benefit to it. So,
Hmm.
connecting and building that relationship, but yeah, now you're going to be that my stuff's going to be in your face.
Yep.
If you've talked to before, follow up in a natural way, not just when you're launching something or when new product comes out or because you're down on sales. Like, just take time. If you do like a working power hour, or I know like I choose business hours and I have specific times of the day that I actively work my business more than just posting. And that's where I get in those DMs. But sometimes I'm getting in those DMs just to connect. Sometimes I don't even try to plug Kleo at all in any way. I'm literally just, sorry, I've got the hiccups, continuing to grow that connection with everybody. Be a real friend. That's really all it boils down to. Be a real friend. It's social media after all, so let's get social.
Yeah, that just kind of sums it all up right there. Like,
It really does.
we're just out there making future friends. Like, it
Yeah,
doesn't need to be a chore because it's like we're just making future friends that we can support and they can support us. And that's what it's all about. We have like
absolutely.
2 minutes left. Is there anything else
Yes.
you wanted to?
Yeah, there is one thing I really do want to just to touch on really quick. Organize your DMs and follow-ups. That's going to help you stay consistent and keep track of things. So use lists or notes to track conversations and follow up meaningfully. Have a three-part system: new connections, warm leads, and follow-up zone. That's how I organize all of my people. And don't ghost good combos. I know that we might get like sidetracked and stuff, but always come back, circle back even if it's been a bit and be like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I meant to touch base with you
When you
and I
say
got distracted.
organize, what does that mean? Like on
So
just create a note or
yeah, for me, like I said, I have a pretty good memory, but I do keep a note and I like track my conversations. Like I said, Kelly, you know, check back in about, how her mom is doing, or Jill, I'm gonna check back in with her about the nails that she bought and was having trouble with. We did a troubleshoot on the problem, but I'm gonna check back in and make sure that it's still working for her. So like I keep a list and then I organize that into three parts. I've got new connections, my warm leads. So this is people that I've already built connections with, but we haven't really gone anywhere, or they've expressed some interest, but they haven't bought yet. And then my follow-ups are my people that have been customers.
gotcha. Okay, love
Yeah.
that.
Okay, so I'm gonna wrap it up. All I'm gonna say is progress over perfection builds momentum. So baby steps, take it a little bit of it at a time. And I actually came up with like a little checklist for you guys that I will share with Kelly. And it's like connection challenges for the week that I've created with a little check off list. And so I really encourage you to get out of your comfort zone and do this.
Thank you so much, Caitlin. This was so good.
Yeah,
And that's so sweet of you to do the checklist. I appreciate that so much. And thanks
no
everyone for
problem.
hopping on and watching. This
Yeah,
it has been so inspiring to help us like put the social back in social media, get out there, make more friends, and build those relationships. So thank you again. Bye,
absolutely.
guys.
Bye, guys. Thank you so much.